Arsenal open Bruno Guimaraes direct transfer talks with Newcastle. Big story there for you. We do have acceleration and so on and so forth. We are talking Taylor, who has gone ahead to obviously retire from professional officiating of the game of football. And then we also have a big one to discuss. And that big one will be about David Austin and Summerville. Smash like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a day. Remember, we are powered by Think Landscaping. Think Landscaping, the #1 stop when you obviously need to see your outdoor space designed, planned, and transformed there for you. So, beautiful spaces, better living, and lasting value in there for you. So call them on those numbers and you'll not regret. As we obviously open up on this beautiful story, do the needful and really subscribe, because we want to hit the magic number of 30,000 subscribers in there for you. We are 67 subscribers away from hitting 29,000. 29,600. So please go ahead and really subscribe. After subscribing, you will obviously give us the best that we really deserve in here for you. Now, where do we start from? Guna blog, Arsenal correspondent for The Athletic, coming up and obviously telling us that Arsenal maintain their interest in Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal have a clear valuation for the player and will only proceed with the deal if Newcastle are willing to negotiate within those parameters. Alternatively, Arsenal will move on to other targets. Now, looks like Arsenal throwing in a threat to the side of Newcastle that please don't joke with us. Don't joke with us, because we have a certain parameter that we think that deal should be falling in. If at all that deal doesn't obviously meet that criteria, we will obviously go ahead and really move on to other targets in there for you. But the interest is still on. The problem is the valuation of the player. Newcastle value Bruno Guimaraes for 90 million pounds, right? Arsenal value him, I think, for 70 to 75 million pounds in there for you. So the value, the gulf in valuation might bring a problem, and Arsenal might obviously opt out and say, all right, let's obviously go out and be look out for another player in there for you. So that's the threat to Newcastle, but a confirmation to everyone that Arsenal is still in for this particular player known as Bruno Guimaraes, a player that I really admire hugely. And I know that if at all he comes in through at Arsenal, he'll be a very good addition to that beautiful squad in there for you. I don't know why Arsenal is like hesitant in really spending, yet they played in the Champions League final, they won the Premier League, and they played in the Carabao Cup final. You understand? They went ahead to bring in a lot of money as a club of Arsenal, but I don't know why they are really hesitant to see to it that they obviously I don't know why they are hesitant to see to it that they really spend this amount of money for Bruno Guimaraes. And my worry is he might slip through their hands like how Morgan Rogers did. And I think I should do a video of why Arsenal didn't sign Morgan Rogers. I need to come up and obviously do that video because I've gone ahead to collect enough information in there for you. But when I look at such a deal, I'm like, really? Arsenal should be doing something better about this, because teams are spending hugely onto these midfielders. And I think the elite midfielder left in here in the league is Bruno Guimaraes. That is it. And I think Newcastle also know it. That's why they are going north of 90 million pounds. Telegraph Football came up and told us that Arsenal are keen to accelerate their interest in Bruno Guimaraes. As of Tuesday afternoon, there had not been direct talks between Arsenal and Newcastle executives, but there is now an expectation that the process could speed up. So, fact is, Arsenal, I The fact is, Arsenal and Newcastle are set to obviously talk. But Telegraph Football had told us that they hadn't obviously gone ahead to obviously start talking. But there was anticipation that these two will obviously start talking. Not so. Now, from him, we got Gary Jacob, sports reporter. He told us that Arsenal have begun direct talks with Newcastle to sign Bruno Guimaraes. Arsenal had until now indicated through intermediaries they would be willing to offer about £60 million. Newcastle are likely to have a decision to make if Arsenal formally offer about £75 million. So, Arsenal began direct talks today with Newcastle. And all along, Arsenal has been using intermediaries to come in through and obviously talk to Newcastle. Now, they want to do what we call direct talks with Newcastle and see how things will pan out in there for them. And that's exactly where they are looking. So, the side of Arsenal hugely wants this player. And the last bid they made through intermediaries was £65 million. Now, it is said that if they reach the £75 million mark, Newcastle might be moved and they're like, all right, let's get you the player. You understand? But direct talks are on in there for you. Then we head to the Arsenal reporter for The Sun. He goes by names of Simon Collins. He has also confirmed to us that Arsenal have opened direct talks with Newcastle over a deal to sign Bruno Guimaraes. The player has informed Newcastle that he's keen to join Arsenal before the start of the new season. So, looks like direct talks have begun between Arsenal and Newcastle because every person we are obviously bringing in through is saying that it's on. Remember, Telegraph told us that they are yet and soon. And just 1 hour ago, we've got in 2-3 journalists confirming to us that Arsenal have opened up direct talks with Newcastle over a deal of Bruno Guimaraes. So we're waiting to see how things really pan out in there for you. So from there, we obviously get Jacobs Ben. He's telling us that Arsenal are accelerating their interest in Bruno Guimaraes and plan to bid again for the player with an offer expected to go north of £70 million. Another Premier League club has made a recent inquiry for the player. So, if you hear that, what crosses your mind? Arsenal want to beat off the competition. And what has gone ahead to obviously see Arsenal trying to get this deal done and dusted? Another Premier League club. I don't know that Premier League club, but to me, it might be Man United. That is it. It might be Manchester United, because United in March, when Casemiro went ahead to announce that he's playing his last season for the club of Manchester United, obviously news were all over the place from credible sources that United have chosen Bruno Guimaraes to be the replacement of Casemiro. But we saw them go to Elliott and they lost the battle. Sandro Tonali, they lost the battle. Chiomini battle was lost. Matthias Fernandes battle was lost. So, the only Premier League proven player that is left is Bruno Guimaraes. So wait to see which Premier League club is obviously trying to do the needful and obviously sign Bruno Guimaraes in there for you. But all I can tell you is simple. Bruno Guimaraes wants Arsenal. And Arsenal have been wanting this player since 2022 when he's playing for Lyon in Ligue 1. So, talks are on. And if direct talks have gone ahead to obviously start off in between these two entities that want to sign the player, it's evident that something will happen. And what's that? A bid will go in. And it's between 70 to 75. And when you see that figure being quoted, you understand that maybe Arsenal are planning to get in with that bid. But Fabrizio told us that Newcastle believe a £90 million fee will obviously see this deal go through. And there are rumors that Newcastle also want £100 million for Bruno Guimaraes. So we will be waiting to see how things really pan out into the next coming hours. But I tell you, it's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a hard one. But I know Bruno Guimaraes won't stay at Newcastle this summer transfer window. He will move to a certain Premier League club. That's what I'm really feeling and seeing. So, Bruno Guimaraes deal, we wait and see where he'll be playing next season. But Arsenal have contacted Newcastle and talks are on. So, we wait and see how things will obviously be happening in there for you. Exclusive from the man who broke the story that Man United was interested in Summerville. Exclusive, Al Hilal reached agreement with West Ham to sign Summerville. Deal for 24-year-old West Ham winger worth 80 million euros and Netherlands international scheduled to undergo medical with Al Hilal. Long-term contract ready, pending final authorizations. Now, Al Hilal, big club in Saudi, and they've gone ahead to put money on the table. That is like 70 million pounds, 80 million euros. And remember, this player was valued for like 50, and AS Roma had the chance to first get this deal out of the way. But what Roma did was to be like, this is the amount of money that we have. And they they call it dilly-dallying around. They're trying to play an L game because they thought that they're the only ones into the mix to obviously get this deal done. And I tell you what, it has gone wild. I tell you, it has gone wild and wild and wild. And as we speak right about now, the club of Al Hilal has hijacked the deal, and Roma can't meet this because they've gone in through to almost offer times to the amount of money that AS Roma was offering to West Ham. And West Ham is like, come on, Al Hilal, 80 million euros. Thank you very much. You understand? So that's how crazy the market has gone ahead to go. And we'll be waiting to see how things really pan out for Summerville. But at Man United, there is no way Summerville would obviously stay in queue of the players they need after Marcus Rashford and Michael Carrick went ahead to reach an agreement that he's obviously going to be coming in through the club of Man United. And that closed all doors for any left forward that United could obviously go in for. And I think that's why Summerville is like, let me go to Al Hilal. Maybe I'll do the needful. But I feel for the player because I do believe that he would have gone ahead to go to a better Premier League side and really went ahead to storm everything. But we've seen players go to Saudi Pro League and they went ahead, obviously come back. 24, 25 years of age as Summerville, don't think it's the right move for him. But money is money. You understand? When money is put on the table, you don't want to play in the championship, you are like, let me go there. And I think he's obviously going to be given an astronomical salary. Obviously, an 80 million euro player has to get a salary of close to 250,000 euros in there for you. So we'll leave it at that. And now let's obviously close it up with the man known as Anthony Taylor, referee of the Premier League. And many of you have seen him officiate very many games. And who am I talking about in photos? That is the guy. I now know that you guys know this guy. And controversial decision sometimes, but being at the top of the game for all those years and officiating close to 700 games. Is it 700? 800. I think 800 games. That makes him a special breed of a referee. And he has said officiating at elite level has been an immense privilege, but the pressure is intense and the scrutiny is constant. So the time is now right to step aside and look forward to transitioning to the next chapter of my career. That is Anthony Taylor. So, Anthony Taylor has hung up his whistle professionally. He's not going to be doing this anymore. He'll be doing other things that will let you know in the nick of time. So thank you guys for watching in through. Tell me your thoughts about Arsenal open Bruno Guimaraes transfer talks with Newcastle. That is a very big step forward into this deal. You know, what do you mean? What do you make about it? Then secondly, what do you make about Summerville going to the side of Saudi Pro League Al Hilal, coming in through 80 million euros? AS Roma has been kicked out of the picture. Then your thoughts on Anthony Taylor hanging up the whistle, you know? All that and more into the comment section below. I love you all. Rokani David remains my name. And thank you for being part of this wonderful channel. Continue to subscribe because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers. And we are not far off from reaching there. With these 10 days remaining to obviously climax July, let's see to it that it's a July mission. Bye-bye.